Barry Sawyer, Derek Valencia, Nick Manella, Tom Manella, Phil Hall, Alex Payne, Matt DeVries, Bubba Hawks, Brett Bagley, and Matt Whitman. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Kathy Manella up to say a few words. 2 words, Karen, 2.
All the moms, we sat in the stands cheering on our boys. We all like to thank the mom on the field who took care of her. Thank you.
Now at this time, we'd like to welcome up Captains Tom Manella and Phil Hall.
Okay. You want to stand? Or else?
People in the back who can't see, stand up.
I didn't want to stand in front of the team, so. I guess I'll start by saying a few thank yous. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee for having us here today. It's a tremendous honor, and we're all very excited to be here celebrating and to be together. I'm pretty sure all of us haven't been together in this way in a while, so it's good to see everybody. So thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee. I'd like to also congratulate Shelly Collins. We're up here for winning 1 state title, and she's won 3, so I don't know what's the tough bracket. A few more thank yous. Thank you to the 1989 boys state champion soccer team for showing us what's possible. Thank you to Joseph's Wayside Market for providing soccer apples for the soccer teams since the 60s, I think. Thank you to the Redwood for putting up with us at breakfast for all our games, and I think our picture's still hanging up in there, so. Thank you to Tony DeLucia for driving us to all of the games until he was not allowed to because we had a chartered bus. Let's see, shout out to the Picarella family. Even though he wasn't on the field with us, I always felt like Zach was a part of what we were doing and who we were. So, big hugs to them. I'd like to thank our parents who drove us to many practices, games over the years, washed our disgusting laundry, fed us, made signs and posters for us throughout the school, and made us pillowcases for our trip to Poughkeepsie. Many thanks and much love to all our families and parents and everybody who supported us that way. Big thank you to Jeannie. I know she just got a standing ovation, much deserved, but you could have seen Jeannie on the sidelines in the mid and late 90s. It was something. She had her headphones on, listening to Yankees games, giving us scores of the playoffs, or Bills games, yep.
They used to play at night, they don't anymore.
Yeah. And she'd be keeping the book, running up and down the sidelines, and kind of keeping us all in line. So she was certainly a mother to us then, and is certainly still a mother to us now. Obviously, I wish Coach Hank was here today. I thought maybe I'd get up here and tell you how much I missed his voice, but I realized that it's been inside me for 20 years. And it's not going anywhere. The last thing I want to say is to the guys that are up here, when I found out that we were going to have an opportunity to speak, I wondered, what was it about the season that if I could go back in time and relive the moment, what was the most exciting? What was the thing I'd want to travel back to and experience again? What did I miss the most? And the first thing that came to mind was winning. Winning was a lot of fun. Winning, celebrating with the team, celebrating goals, celebrating victories with our fans, with our parents, with our friends. That was certainly awesome, and I would love to do that again. There's nothing like the crowd noise, there's nothing like the adrenaline rush. But I realized after thinking a little more that it wasn't so much the winning, but that winning when we were making our run through sectionals meant that we got to have practice together. Every game we won, we got to come back and be together in practice. And so I think I realized that the thing that I missed the most about the season was actually practice. I missed, running the Finger Lakes Trail with you guys the week before preseason even started. Missed the competition in practice, knocking each other down, picking each other up. I don't remember people not playing hard all the time. And of course I miss most of all running the hill. We used to practice at the high school field, and when practice ended every day, we'd all line up at the bottom of the hill and run wind sprints up it. And so it was the togetherness, it was being with all of you guys that I missed the most. Time is precious, and I just urge you all to make the most of it. So thank you very much for having us here today. This means a lot. It's very exciting for us, so thank you.
We'd also like to welcome Team Mom, Ms. DJ.
I'm not going to say all this, I promise. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. It's a wonderful thing that you guys started it, and I have to say, Mr. Frame, you should be thrilled at how many people came into the building today for the first time and are really thrilled with the way it looks and think that maybe these kids are making out better than they did years ago. So thank you, and thanks to the Naples community for making this possible, because these things do matter. It's a proud moment for us, and I really wish Gary could be here, but I'm going to try to make him proud today. I have to say thank you to Kathy Manella, because we renovated our house back in 2003, and everything had to be moved out. I prayed very hard last year and found the box that had everything from the 89 team in it. I have no idea where the 99 team box is. I'm sure it's somewhere, and someday I'll find it, but I don't have it. And Kathy had all kinds of material for me, and I went to her house, and she even let me take it out, Nick. I had to sign my life away, but I got it, and I was able to make copies. And because of that, I was able to make a book for the boys with some of the clippings. And I tried to do the clippings because they're only in the Hall of Fame because they won the state championship. So I just did the very beginning, and then we did the stuff that got us through the state. So the boys got that, and the parents who wrote letters of support, I really appreciate that, the people who did that. And I have to say to Dan and to Matt, thank you so much for all you did with this team. You were there for them. Dan Matthews actually spent the night after the semifinal game in our room with Dakota, and it was a good thing because Gary had a low blood sugar the next morning, and we needed extra help, so that worked out good. As I think about it, one of the things that was so important to Gary was team, and so I hope I have my paper. It says here, in an article in the Daily Messenger, Coach Shank wrote, after many hours of practice and many miles traveled, the players were able to finish a dream season with a record of 21-2-2. And in the process, they were the Honeoye Soccer Tournament champions, the Section 5 Class C champions, and the Class C state champions. The team, T-E-A-M concept, was the key to their success. They scored, and these are all Gary's words, by the way, 72 goals and only allowed 13, and had 15 shutouts. Yay. Guys, how many do we have this year, guys? Shutouts? How many? We're at 9 and counting. We're still going up. Okay. Ben Bagley, Phil Hall each had 11 goals on offense, but Matt Goodwin and Sam Hubley each accounted for 10 goals And as you can see, it was quite an even distribution. The defense, led by Tom Manella, Derek Valencia, and Tom Hawks, were the back line of defense. Their goal was to keep the ball away from our goalie, Alex Payne, but they knew that Alex could make an acrobatic save when necessary. A midfielder, Phil Hall, Mike Cox, and Maya Treble capably moved the ball up and down the field. The team kept a positive attitude throughout the season, even when they lost a couple of games and had a couple of ties. And that's one of the things I think showed really special talent for you guys, because I mean, the 89 team didn't lose a game, and that was great. But when you lose and you have to come back and get your head up, that shows something special. And I'm saying that to my boys here. So you gave up a goal Thursday, big deal, just don't give up anymore, right? That'll be the goal from here on out. In the booklet, when I was putting it together, I saw one note that he said that we have the horses on defense to shut down teams, but we have to find a way to score goals. How many of you guys here scored a goal sometime during that season? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. It really went around. That was one of the things. And when we got to the States, we had people scoring. I want you to know, Bubba, the story of your goal in the semifinal, I think they now have you kicking from the opposite side. It gets longer all the time. And even among the Section 5 guys, it was quite a little story. Yes, they went back and forth with him. But in times were different then. Bubba came to our room afterward, and he wanted to call his brother, who was at the Citadel. And he called his brother and he said, we're going to the state championship game, and I scored the winning goal. And then there were the players who always wanted their clothes washed after every game, so we had to find a place we could wash them clothes after the summer and before the final. And then raise your hand if you never washed your game after homecoming. God bless his mother with that. They didn't want to even more bad. Those are the things I'm trying to think as we go through. Is that there? I have to, when we talk about community, this team, talk about a dream, they lived their dream, they got their pillowcases, I got one too. But then it was because of some of the things that they were able to do, that when the town of Naples bought the land, they wanted a community park and they wanted a field. And they actually named the soccer field, the varsity guys are not playing, they named it after my Gary, God bless you. But it was because these kids ended up helping to share the dream with the community. We never had a problem going to Cohasset, and I think we enjoyed Cohasset, to tell you the truth. But to have our own field and a nice field, something with really grass, and then to be able to have a press box now. And when we get the plaque, that's where the plaque is going to go. It'll be in the press box. You got to walk up the steps to see it, but I think you should all do it. And that was part of their dream. Big things can happen from little things, and the community park and that field has a lot to do from you guys. So I thank you for that. And then there are some people who can't be here today, not just my Gary. I think Bob Treadwell and Bill Payne, who were at all the games. But there were 3 moms who were absolutely fantastic. Nancy Hall and Janice Miachaki and Deb Hawks. And bless those ladies, they made posters and signs along with some of the other moms. They had things going all the time. They had parties after the games. They fed these guys. They were as much a part, I mean, all of the parents are, but they're not here to enjoy this part today. So I just had to say their names so that you know we haven't forgotten them, and I know you guys haven't either. What was another one I got there, and I mentioned the other day. And so I'm not going to say much more because these guys are getting ready, and the girls have to play at noon, right? So I just want to say on behalf of the whole 1999 team and my husband Gary, who bumped out and isn't here, I want to say thank you for admitting these boys that we can all be very proud of into the Naples Hall of Fame. Thank you.